Hey guys, Pharaoh Knight here, bringing you episode 4 of our colony survival playthrough. In the last episode, disaster struck the colony. Zombies invaded and, well, wiped out all of our colonists. It wasn't a good time. We had some setbacks. However, off camera, we slowly built back up. We let the colony run on its own and set up for bread and crafting, and we have crawled our way back and are now in a very powerful position once again. We have added in a couple more day and night guards just because our colony count has risen and I don't want to have to really worry about what's going on over here. We have added in another crafting bench, all the bread making necessities, baker, grinder, and the water gatherer. We've also added in a science table so that I can be anywhere and initiate some science. Also, we have put in a smelter and anvil over here. So they'll be working away while we're building. And finally, I was looking at it and 3 fields just didn't seem to be enough for me. So I did go and build a 4th tier. So we do now have a 4th wheat field and a 4th berry farm. The wheat fields are oscillating or on opposite days, so 2 will be ready today, 2 will be ready tomorrow, and so on and so forth. In today's episode, I'm looking to get started on the catwalk again and move that to the left, drawn out. I'm not sure if how I want to make it go around. I'm kind of thinking that have it come out, wrap around the mountain, and maybe come down to the wall somehow as another way to get there, and maybe start planning out our main building, which for some reason I feel like it should be just a little off-centered on the left, but we'll have to see because our staircase that we put in is right here, so we would have to build around that or with that in mind. So no, it should be a good episode today. Hopefully everything goes as planned. Hopefully we don't have any more surprises like last time. And here's hoping. Okay, so I've built this out just a little bit for now. I've come out about 11 on the flat, give or take. Gone up to and stopped because I'm not sure if I would like it to connect up to the upper part. I'm just not sure if I want to wrap it around and kind of connect into this corner or if I want to build into the mountain a little bit. And then on this side, I've started to slowly wrap it around the mountain. And I'm going to see how that looks down below before I go too far. And I've also got to get down onto the wall and see about bringing up a path up from there. Or if I can wrap that all the way around and down. Okay, so that's kind of how it looks down below. I do like the wrapping. I'm not sure. Looks like that's a little low. I might have to do something in there for the almost, yeah, they're not lining up right. So I'll just have to end up putting in another wood block in these corners so that there's actually a full rail. And it looks like I went one too low on that spot there, so we'll fix that. And over here it looks like it won't be a problem, so we'll wrap it around to somewhere around here where this can connect through the mountain. So this will just come to a certain spot and then stop for now, and then have an offshoot down to the wall. Okay, so I've put in the little staircase now so we can come up here and exit right onto our catwalk, and we can run up and do whatever we need to up here now. Makes getting up here a little easier instead of climbing that precarious little staircase and running all the way around and popping out and then down. Okay, so I thought about it for a little bit and I played around with a few ideas, and I think I'm going to go with this one. So what I've done is using some blocks here, mapped out what my building is going to look like, in that I'm going to have a bed. So these wood blocks will represent a bed. The stone here will represent a path between those beds. So I've laid it all out, and then I know I'm close to the height limit, which is the top of those blocks. I built in these stairs so that you can easily get up from our path down here. So our workers will be able to get up here, and then they would come up, and because I can actually dig into this mountain a little bit, I'm going to dig in and start the building a little bit into the mountain. Once we've got that set up, I have these blocks set up. They're too deep, the walls, so that we can add in some detail and depth to the actual building itself. It's going to come out, and I want it to come out and totally encompass the catwalk here. So it's going to reach out and it's going to come around, and that should give this really nice look. Yeah, it should. I think it'll be good. It's going to be a lot of effort, and I'm going to fall and die a ton. But other than that, it should be fine. Right? Right? Well, that didn't take long. Half an hour later. Okay. So for now, this is going to be our colonist sleeping area. It gets them out of the way down there so I can work with that. And this is the finished floor, so I shouldn't have to remove them. So I've got logs going as your walkways with a nice stone brick surrounding that. I'll probably do the walls and the ceilings too. I just had enough of digging for right now. And underneath the beds are wood planks. So there's our first 4 guys to use this sleeping area, which I think is actually looking really good. And again, we've cleaned all that up, so now there's no more beds down there. So now that we've got that done, I know it's sunk in, and I will have to do a nice entranceway and probably something with this. I can also clear this up now. There we go. So now we can focus on bringing this out, down, and around. I'm not sure how that's going to look just because I am restricted by height right now. So I may actually want to do the lower section and get the craftsman in. I'm not sure. I'll have to think about it. I'll have to take a small break and see what I can come up with. But for now, this is looking pretty good. It would be great if I could get the diggers. So that's kind of what I've shifted my focus to. So I've come up to our other side. There's our wheat and berry side in its full glory. I've come over to the other side. I've come up to the top, and I have put in what will be probably our first, well, it will be our first flax field up on this side. Now, because I've put the forester in this area here, it's restricted the size that I can use for my fields, so I can't do a carbon copy of that side, which I think is actually a good thing. It might look nice with the symmetry, but going for something a little different on this side keeps it exciting, I think. And especially when you're building, you don't want to just keep building the same thing over and over again. It's not fun. It can be, I guess, but I like to change it up, get a little different flavor going on. So what I've had to do is go with the 10 by 10 size. So I've done that after sizing it up down here, and then I've built these kind of pillars coming down. Because it does come away from the mountain so much compared to us actually building into the mountain over here, it would look really weird just to have the platform come out with nothing to really hold it up. So I've tried this design here, and I do like it. I almost wish I went back one and had it more in center. That way this lower rung would still be in depth. So I think I am going to fix that, and then we will get our first flax field going. And then below it, I'm thinking barley, so that we can actually get some chickens going as well. Yeah, I like that better. Looks a little cleaner. Though I do need to bring that stone brick down so it looks like it mends in with the ground a little bit more. Okay, so now that we've got our flax in, we've done our research, And the next step in our quest for diggers is a bee farm. So I've made a nice little area here for bees close to the weeds so they can pollinate and the berries. Oh, it's a perfect little spot for bees. So we're just gonna come in here, get our bees, and go with a nice 4x7. Now the real question is, do I want to elevate this a bit? Make it a little nicer looking. And I think for this, the flat area might be the best way to go. I don't know, I'm gonna have to think about that. I might actually raise this up a little bit just to get, again, that elevation. So actually I could, oh, I got an idea. Okay, that looks much better. Funny how whenever you go to actually show something off, you get a better idea of how to do it. But I think this is what we're going to go with. We still keep that nice tiered look going on. I will add in our steps. And we're going to have our bee farmer set here. So he is set. And I've also set a tailor over there to get started on linen work. So let's just grab those guys. That'll be perfect. So I believe the next thing on our quest for diggers is to get olives. And that might be interesting because, again, olives are trees. Oh, I like building here, but it can be a bit of a pain too. Well, I almost did it again. I got the size wrong. We got bees are every 2, so I have a 3x7 now. And that will be the correct size to make the full use of the space. Little trick here actually while I'm building this to make your builds a little bit more natural if you're using elevation is that when you encounter a mountain or hill or some such thing that you're going to be cutting into, keep the actual line that you're cutting into and then just replace these blocks with whatever blocks you want, whether it's dirt or grass, and it just makes it feel a little bit more natural going into something than if you were to make this a one big square. Okay, so I have put in the olive farm. So I built almost a retaining wall and put this little pattern into it. So you got the L's at the end, 2 straights, and a plus sign in the center. I think it looks pretty good. Quite pleased with that. And then as you come up, you enter another little tiered area. You would have seen this earlier when I mentioned a little trick on how to get more of a natural feel with your farms. So the olive farm is, again, it's a 6x15, same as our forest. And we're gonna go from there. I do need to maybe clean this up here. Just do something like this. There you go. And then actually throw those in, and that'll be good. Okay, so I did quickly come back. I couldn't stand having perfectly flat wall top, so I did add in our crenellation pattern that we did on the other side over here, just a little bit tighter, and that I think makes it look a little bit better. Alright, so that's kind of the idea for the hut or the base. Now, the thing with that is that our lower section that we kind of planned for our workers might not be possible since the staircase is right below it. I still think we could do something with it though, maybe in this little area here, and then just extend the stairs, or maybe even put it just off so we have a secondary building here for our workers that's kind of below this area. And then up here we've got our residential area or a little house that'll sit up there, and we can go from there. I do like the asymmetrical portion of this build. It might put a few people off that this one's higher up and shorter than this one, but I think that adds more character than always being symmetrical. I mean, we have a lot of symmetry in our builds already with this area here, our defenses, our forests, our flax fields up there. that the asymmetry really breaks that up. And considering that this mountainside will be the focal piece where most people will be looking when they come into our colony, not sure who would be coming in, but if anyone were to come in, this would be the area that they would see first. So we really need to make this area pop and stand out. Nobody's really going to mind too much of what wheat farmers and berry farmers are doing, but the actual housing area, workshop area should look quite nice. Okay, so I did take a little bit of time, and I think I've got an idea for what to do here. Because this staircase is built in and it comes down, I'm thinking that could lead into the workshop. Cut out this stair, build the workshop here, and then inside the workshop itself have the stairs that come down, connect in, and then also have kind of a continuation in which it connects up here to keep this continuity going as well. I think that's a good idea. But I think that's all for today, guys. In this episode, we did get the catwalk going. We also planned out our main building. It's not perfect yet, but I think it's a good start. We also got into the mountain and have a little residential area that's out of the way. Whether or not that continues to be used for that, we'll find out later. We also got going on the quest for diggers. We got our flax field in, our olive trees are in, and our bee farm is in too. So if you guys do like the episode, you got any comments or suggestions, please let me know down in the comment section. This has been Pharaoh Knight, and have a good day, guys.